Tracy here. I hope everybody is doing well. And what I'm going to do today is I'm going to do a tutorial on how I made this one mini album. I'm not sure if I will show you this mini album in a separate video and then post a tutorial. It depends on how long it's going to take. But anyway, the album that I am going to do today is this one here. About a year ago, I think I made this last February for my daughter, and many of you had asked me to show you a tutorial on how I put it together. So that's what I'm planning on doing, and I am going to use my SCT sampler because I vow I'm going to make something every month with this. I say that every year and I start off so strong and then I taper as the year goes by. So the specifics I'm going to use are these journal cards, these ones here. One for every month I'm going to do. There are 12 of them. So I'll put everything else away. I'll probably use a lot of the embellishments as well. But I don't know what I'm going to do. I really played around with what I wanted to do with the sampler this month. So the first thought I had was, oh, maybe I'll just put them in the Snap album because they would be perfect for that. But then I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to combine it using my SCT sampler as well as do a tutorial for something I had promised that I would do. So I already put these in some kind of order. Each one has a tab, and I'm going to stamp the month on that tab. And I'm going to use these stamps here. I have no idea if they make these anymore. I bought these many moons ago, probably at Archivers. And so anyway, this text fits nicely in there, except for the longer ones like January, September, December, November, they don't fit, so I'll use the short forms, but for like May and April, they fit in this little area, so that's what I'm going to stamp them in. And I'm going to stamp them before I start anything at all, because I put these in some type of an order that makes sense for me. Maybe I should stamp them as I go along. Maybe we'll do that. So let me just get, oh, look at that. I even have my ink here. Wow, it's almost like I'm prepared. So because January is a long one, I am just going to stamp the first 3 letters of it. And that looks good. So there's January. Oh, are you kidding me? Seriously? Dirty fingers right there. We'll have to put an embellishment there. Oh, I can't imagine why. Maybe I shouldn't have done that on camera. So I've decided to stamp off of camera because I stamped on camera and I wanted to make sure my head wasn't in the way. Whereas January turned out pretty good, but look at those marks. Why? Because I had ink on my thumb. Why? Because I let my grandsons use my ink pads to make their mom and dad some art. So I'm going to stamp these off of camera. As you can see, I did all the stamping. So there's January, February, March. I stamped them all on their tabs. And if you notice, there's some washi tape here, and there is a reason for that. Every second one has a washi tape strip because I made a major boo-boo. I had this album practically completed, and then I realized, oh, this isn't how I wanted it to go. It would have been fine if I would have left it, but us crafters know if it doesn't go our way, we're gonna like take it apart and start all over, and this is what I did. So I'll tell you what my error was. My error was I attached my pages this way, so it was a month and a month. I didn't want that. What I wanted was the month, so you can do some journaling and then a photo. The month, you can do some journaling and then a photo pertaining to that month, and so on. Journaling, photo pertaining to that month. So I had them so it was month and month together. I'm like, oh no, that's not what I wanted. So I cursed a few times, and then I used my palette knife to pry some of the pages apart. I think I did 2, and I'm like, yeah, I'm ruining these pages. So I thought Goo Gone. I've heard of other people using Goo Gone. So what I did was I just have a little puncture in mine, and so I would stick the palette knife in there just to get the tip a little bit wet with the Goo Gone, and then I pried it, slowly pried it. So when I did it before using the Goo Gone, it ripped the other page. So of course you use a good glue. Thankfully, I didn't use a liquid glue because that would never come off. I used these, and I'll show you, I'll go through the whole thing again. But what I did here was when I pried it off, it ripped some of the paper off. I'm like, oh, well, you know what? Maybe I'll just match it, which I didn't do a very good job. Color it in with my Copics. Not thinking that Copics bleed through to the other side, because this isn't Copic paper, this is just regular paper. So I was going through papers, trying to figure out what I could do, and I thought, you know what? No, I'm going to washi tape them. It'll be thinner, and if I'm not straight or it's more forgiving, I can pull it off if it's not doesn't work. So that's what I did. I just put some washi tape on it like that, both sides, and then just cut the excess off. And I cut it because not only were they glued, they were scored as well. So what I had to do was, and this isn't thick enough to go like to be folded over, it's just a little bit too shy to fold it over to go past the score mark. So that's why I had to do it this way, one on either side. If it wasn't as thick, I could fold it, like put it down and then fold it over, but it wasn't. So let me continue on with the proper way to do this. So our next step is to take our cards, and we're going to score them at 2/8 and score all the way down. And we're going to do that with every single card. And you can have this whatever width you want. I think this book here I might have done 3/8. But depending on how many pages, or depending on how thick you want your spine, because the thicker you have this score mark, the thicker your spine is going to be depending on how many sheets of paper you have. This is 12, so not only did I not want it to be so thick because this is going to be a smaller book, but also the 2/8 mark is here, and it's just before it goes into the word here. And I didn't want to interfere with the word. So that's what I did. I scored them all. Now we're not going to use our score anymore. Well, for this step, we're not going to use our score. But what we're going to do is we are going to, well, before we fold them, let's take these and we're going to attach 2 at a time. So these 2 are going to be attached, and then the next 2. So let me just, we're going to attach it this way just because when I took this one off, look how it's marked up here. So that's before I got to the Goo Gone. That stuff really works actually. And once it dries, your paper dries fine. I'm very impressed. I don't think I've ever used Goo Gone for paper before. That's just something I would not have thought of using. So we do this, we do our score tape. You can use liquid glue as well. Thankfully I did not, because yeah, I would never have gotten that apart. So we put that up there, give it a good rub there, and now there we go. There's one signature. So you see we have January and February. And then we take these new ones, March and April. You just want to make sure, because I already stamped the months on here, I want to make sure I do it properly, because seriously, I've had enough mistakes. This is going to take the longest ever video I think I've ever had to edit. And probably the most I haven't been able to use the footage that I've videotaped. So again, we just butt this up to our score mark. Rub it nicely down so it sticks well. March and April, double checking. I'm going to be double checking every single one. And this is, see, look at it, I almost did it that way. So here's June. I'm going to do the rest of these off camera, just because you don't need to watch. You know how to do this. And my daughter's home, so I'm going to go visit with her for a bit. I misplaced this. I took a break and I misplaced this already, my other tape. So we will use, this one's a little bit thicker. So what I was doing was, because I stopped and I started again, so I was putting this one on top of there. So you just add your tape. Make sure you get to the very edge in between that and the score. And I've done it both ways. I've done it either flat, and I've also done it where I have actually like already bent the score marks. So here's the one way, and I showed you this one already. And then you just, see, I keep thinking I'm getting my head in the screen here. You just add it on here. I could see some shine. This one's a little bit thicker, this tape. I might have to go and grab my other one. Try and find another one, and then you just fold it over like this and fold it over like that. So it's either that way, or what I have done is I've made the creases in them already, put the tape on, and then just matched the creases this way. But I think it's easier to put the tape on when it's flat and then just put one on top of the other. I'm just going to do the rest off screen because I feel like my head keeps getting in the camera way. I don't know if it does, but I just feel like it is. So, and I want to concentrate. I've made enough mistakes on this album. I just want to make sure I'm concentrating on this part here. I just realized I have a totally different background right now, and the reason is because during my break I did another video, and so I changed the background. So who knows, I'll take another break later on and maybe we'll go back to the black background. But now I'm going to make the cover for this album, and it's going to be longer than a 12 by 12 piece of paper. So I took 2 sheets of paper and I put some of the score tape on both of the sheets, and then I'm going to attach them this way, so there is score tape and these 2 pieces here are going to be overlapping. It'll just give it a little bit of thicker a thicker joint, and this is going to be, I think I'll put this at the spine. Maybe you won't notice it as much. You won't notice it from the inside, and I'm hoping you won't notice it from the outside either. And then I'll score it once these are on to get this point here, because with this one here I scored it what I thought it was going to be, and I was out just a tad, and I don't know if you can notice, but this signature is a little bit skinnier than the rest because I scored it first. So for here I think I'm going to score it at the end. So first of all, we're going to attach these 2 pieces. And I'm just going to put them up like this so they're hopefully straight. They look good. And you know this score tape, you can move it around if you do it quickly enough to make any adjustments. So there we go, there's that. And now I'm going to add strips of score tape on each one of these and then put them down and put them down one against the other. So here, because I have the months, I have a certain way I want to do this. They have to be in a certain order, so I have to make sure I don't mix up my pages, because you know what, I would not be surprised if that happens. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to start in the middle ones. So that would be these 2 here, and I'll start them in the middle and then I'll work out from there. So I'm going to add some of the score tape on here on each one, and then double check to make sure again I got the months in the right order. So there's a piece of score tape there, and each seam or binding will be right where they have the flat part there. Okay, just want to cut that a little bit more. There we go. Okay, so we want to give it a nice good rub down here. Make sure it's nice and sealed. And so May is here, July is here. We don't want to really ruin this here. So, And I know this is straight, so this is where I'm going to work off of this one here. And again, my head's probably going to be in the way. Sorry about that. There's there, and then May and June will be in front of July. Just want to nicely butt it up right up against there. There we go. There, so then the pages will lie nicely that way and that way. So far, so good. So we're just going to keep moving our pages, adhering them there and adhering them on either side. Okay? So this is the last card. This is November and December's cards. So we just want to make sure they're nice and close to this one and even as well. There we go. There. So here's the making of our book. So I'm going to put some pattern paper here so we have January's and then a photo you can add. Photo for February, photo, and then March, photo for April. I'm doing this to make sure I put them in the right order. April, May, June, July, August, September, October, November, and December. It's okay. Now I can do my scoring here on where I wanted it. Like I had said, the first one I pre-done the scoring and I was out by just a touch. So if you could see my desk right now, it is such a disaster. Okay, here we go. So let's put this here. A little bit over. There we go. And we'll score that. Should probably use the bigger one. So there's that side. So see, you don't have to be perfect. You can make it whatever size you want. No, that should go there. There we go. There. And then of course we will cut these to be the right size. Let me just move this again. There we go. And then we'll have to cut these. Okay. Oh, and I had mentioned before that I used this Goo Gone because I had kind of messed up. Not kind of, totally messed up on putting in my cards. And then somebody had mentioned, my friend Stephanie, we call her Jersey because she's from New Jersey, but she had said to use Undo. And you know what? I had watched a video from Scrapbook Cottage and she had the Undo. And for some reason, I had this already, so I thought this is what it was. So I don't know if it's supposed to be for paper. It worked, but I don't know if it's going to like stain the paper. So what I'm going to do now is on the last card, how much should we trim off from this last card here? Because it's okay, like with this one here, when it's closed this way, you can see them this way, or if it's pushed over this way, you can see it this way, but it's supposed to stand like this. So that's what I'm going to do with this one, is keep it about there. Here's our last card. Say, maybe I'll measure it with the measuring, with the measuring tool. I'll measure it with the ruler. Oh my goodness. So we'll do it this way. This one here, and maybe what, ½ an inch, we'll see. ½ an inch is quite a bit. Maybe ½ an inch. Yeah, we'll do ½ an inch. I like that. And then on this one, the last page, we will do another ½ inch, just so there we go. Let's see if I can, I just wanted to make a mark, but then I can actually measure it on here. From the last page, we'll do, half is kind of big. Well, yeah, we'll do a quarter. There we go. We'll do a 1/4 inch. That looks better. And then on this side, we'll do a 1/4 inch as well. So we'll take the last page, or first page in this, on this side, and go a 1/4 inch. There we go. So there is the makings of our book. I know on this one I rounded the corners, and I really like the look of that. So maybe I'll round the corners on this one. I will, maybe not. Maybe not. So I'm just going to burnish these a little bit, make sure they're nice and flat, because I don't want them to fall off. It's only every signature is sealed down, so there we go. Now I want to add some paper here so I can have your first photo of the year and then some journaling. Then put some decorative paper here and around here. So I haven't even picked out papers yet. It looks so tiny compared to this one. So I haven't even picked out papers besides the making of this. So maybe I will pick out some papers. Can this, no, this is too big. I wonder if I can cut that off and use that as a, no. See this way? No. We will figure out something. So what I did was I pulled out all of my Simple Stories 6x6 paper pads here, and I don't know if they go as well with what's in here, these pages that are in here already. So what I might do is, and I thought to myself, you know, I might as well, because I wanted to use these kits this year. So I thought I'll take these papers from the SCT sampler kit and I will use them somehow. But the thing is, I like one side that I think I'm going to use this. Like, oh, I'm thinking I'll use this on the inside because look, they match. And then the color on this last page, that green is the same color too. So I'm like, oh, I can use that. And then I see this. I'm like, oh, that's so cute. That would be a really good page to put on in my traveler's notebook when I do my listing. It's like, okay, we'll see. We'll see about this one. We'll figure that one out. And then I'm like, oh, that looks pretty. Like, look at that. Doesn't that look really nice? So I might use that one. Even though I love these two cards, because I love anything with dates. I don't know why. I love everything with dates. Then I'm like, oh, even though I don't like this color, because that's not my favorite color, but I'm like, oh, well, maybe if I put a really nice card behind it, or in front of it, like that, maybe that one will work out. And I can live with getting rid of this one. But I'm like, am I going to love that? I don't think so. And then this one, I'm like, well, okay, you know what? Nothing on here calls me. I can use the other side. And I'm like, oh, no, I'm not using peaches on it. So I'm having a lot of trouble trying to figure out what I'm going to do on here. So when I decide, maybe a while, I will share it with you. This one might work on the inside as well. I don't know. Okay, I'll figure it out off camera because, you know what? I'm very indecisive of a lot of things. So once I figure it out, I'll come back on because it may take a while. Okay, I use the pretty paper. I'm usually a hoarder of pretty paper. But it's like, you know what? No, that's why I have so much paper, because I hoard it. Because it's so pretty. I know it makes no sense. It makes no sense at all. So I did use this for the back and the front. And I did use that for the inside. And the back of the inside. I think it goes really well with that. Plus, you're going to have a big photo here, so you're not going to see much of it anyway. And then for the front, I think this is everything from the kit. I guess this came in the kit too, because my desk is a mess, and these were all over the place. So I'm trying to find everything from the kit, because I might as well use it all, or use as much as I can. So here, I was thinking, well, I can use this Laugh and Love, but it's just kind of, you know, goes in the background because it's so bright. But I thought, oh, maybe I will put this black on here and then that would pop a little bit more. Or this one here, I like this one because I just like that one. And I like this one because it has all the nice colors in it as well, but I'm like, but then should it have a border? Everything has a border for me for some reason. So I'll have to cut this edges. I cut the top and the bottom a little bit. And I thought, well, I wonder if I should have this on there. But I don't know. Now I'm kind of leaning towards this, just to give it a little pop. Oh no. But then this is great because this is about the whole year. Maybe I'll use this. Yep. And then I'll just cut this pink out and cut this a little bit thinner so it'll have a border. We will see how that looks. And then I'll decide. I might change my mind. Who knows? I tried them both and I think this is going to look better on the cover. So we will make the decision and stick with it. So we'll center this off nicely here. And center it on here. Yeah, I think that looks good, eh? So not only did I do the pattern paper, what I did here, because there wasn't enough pattern paper for the spine, was I just cut another piece of cardstock to cover the back, since the seam was, right about here. Right here. So I just put another piece of cardstock on the back. Not only that, it makes it stiffer as well. And I want to dress up this page somehow, because remember I had the ink on my fingers? And I got it on here, so maybe something like this. You can still write around it. I'm trying to think what else would work there. Oh yeah, and then yes, oh no. Oh, I have these stickers too. I forgot about these stickers. Oh, but then there's more words, and we got words on words on words. So maybe not the words, maybe the sticker. Maybe this is going to have to work. And you can just write around it. Mind you, I had a little thing up there too. Oh, I know we can fix everything. So we'll add that to that one. Now how did I have that? Because I had it like totally, there we go, totally covered. So that there, I went down a little too low. I'll just snip it off. There we go. And this, I don't know what to do with this little thing. I put gel pen on it. Let's see, right there. So you can't really tell. And once the writing is on there, you can't really tell, but I still feel like I need to fix it somehow, and I don't have anything else. I'm trying to just do the kit, so if I put that, no. You know what? We're just going to have to live with that, I think. Like I said, once it's written on top, I was thinking of writing the year down here. Maybe I can just make it tab to put a year down there. Let me think. Let me see. What can I do? So what I did to fix my ink blobs was I put this little ephemera piece here, and then I just put a sticker here. So, oh yeah. Now I'm just going to go through. There's not as many ones that I can use. Like I don't want to do that one, that one. The only one else I'd like to actually use is this flower one, honestly. And then there's some of these circles. And I might be able to use some of those. I tried to use the hello, like, oh yeah, hello, that, yeah, no, that didn't work. So I might go through here and just add a couple little embellishments. I might even have some in my stash, but like I had mentioned before, I kind of want to use the kit up. For these here, these pieces here, it's okay if I don't use them up, for the fact that I can use them in my traveler's notebook when I list. So I'm going to go through, maybe there's some things I can fussy cut in here, I'm not sure. So I'm just going to go through here, decorate it up, and I'll show you maybe in another video, just for the fact that I think this is really long, or it feels really long because I made so many errors and this tutorial was not up to standards here. I hope you understand it. If not, I can do another video. So let me just walk you through the album. So there's the cover, and then here's January, you can do your journaling, and here you can do a picture. February, journaling, and then a picture. And you can either do your main picture, something really important that happened in March, or you can do those collages and you can have quite a few photos on there. A little bit of journaling. Same here for April, May, June, July. Oh, we're going to have to add some more tape there. Look at that. That popped off. So much for that really good sticky adhesive, huh? And then August, September's, October's, November's, and December's. Yay, I got them in the right order. And then you can add some year-end photos here, or New Year's photos, or whatever you want to add to those ones. So there you go. You wanted a tutorial on how to make it. I hope you understand my tutorial. And thank you so much, everybody, for watching. And I hope you all are doing well, you are healthy, and I hope you all have a very creative day today. Bye now.